This is Jim Emter, Van Ahn & Company, Alexandria, Minnesota, with the closing grain and livestock comments for August 20th, 2015. Corn market September up 3 3/4, December up 4, 382.5 on the close. September soybeans up 18, November up 13 3/4, 907 1/4 on the close. September meal up 6.90, closing at 330.90. The September Chicago wheat up 10 at 506 1/4. September Minneapolis up 2 1/2, 510 3/4. December Minneapolis up 2 1/4, 525 even. And Kansas City September up 7, 481 1/4. A positive day across the board for the grain, something we haven't seen for some time. A very encouraging day, some of it coming off the Pro Farm Tour. Maybe yields not as big as anticipated. We'll get some of those reports here again this afternoon. But you know, pod counts and corn yields looking a little bigger as they come through the heart of the Midwest, but maybe not enough to offset the Eastern Belt, as many analysts have been preaching all year long. But we're afraid you're not going to see those developments until November or January out of USDA. As we look to some of the underlying tones, corn finishing weather is actually pretty good. Soybeans got some good rains this week, so we're chopping around a bit, trying to find some direction. But as we look at the end of the day, the dollar weakness today, along with some good export sales, were enough to get this market up and going. We'll see if we can maintain tomorrow, maybe some friendly news coming out of Pro Farmer, but we're going to need to keep the catalyst rolling and new bull news around, or else run the risk of fading back. We'll watch the dollar index very closely tomorrow for trade indications. As you look to the feeder cattle market, down 12 1/2 there, 203.75. On the October live cattle, up 120 at 146.35. October hogs down 135, 64.65. We did hear some northern trade at 149 for the cattle. In regards to hogs, we're seeing some good movement, but we're seeing good numbers around as well. So we do forecast some world developments supportive to hogs to some degree. We're hearing China's liquidation is going to be, or has been, very large, and that could potentially bring in some greater imports as we work ahead of pork into their country. Otherwise, as we look to the grain markets, today was an important close. We got above some key resistance points. We've got some nice reversals, but we're going to need some information to get up and get going. Look for choppy action to continue for the next few weeks. Hoping bottom action happens here, either has happened, which I think might be a little premature, will happen in the near term, we believe is kind of the case, and then we'll see what kind of momentum we can build from there. Probably more of a range-bound market, though. This has been Jim Emter, Van Ahn & Company, Alexandria, Minnesota. Trading in futures and options involves risk of loss and is not suitable for all producers. Past performance is not indicative of future results.